Hi, I'm Kat from Stars and Embers, and it is day 4 of the Because We Can Readathon Travel Edition, and I am your host for today. We're halfway through, and welcome to my kitchen. If you're just discovering this readathon, head over to our announcement videos because it's still not too late to still join. There are 7 reading challenges, all related to our theme of travel, and we have a group book, which is The Girl from Everywhere by Heidi. And after the readathon, we will be having a live stream to discuss the book. Every day there is a new creative challenge. They are all explained in our creative challenges announcement video. And we have a giveaway going, so don't forget to link your entry in the comments of this video by the end of the week to go in the draw to win a book from Book Depository. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to all our hosts to be able to enter. So today's creative challenge is to make a food from a book. You can interpret that however you like. You can bake something, you can cook something, you could make a drink, or you could literally make a food out of something else that is not food. And I have decided to make Feyre's soup from ACOMAF. Like, I know she only heats up the soup, but I'm multitasking here. I get to make this soup and then it's going to be my lunch for the rest of the week at work. Work smarter, not harder. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have this recipe of a soup that looked good on here, and these are all my ingredients. I didn't realize there were going to be so many ingredients, but here we are. So to make this soup, you need some olive oil, 2 middle bacon rashers, trimmed and finely chopped. How do I even open this? Where are my scissors? Also, I am not a fan of cooking. I'd rather not do it. But because no one else is here to cook for me, I have to do it myself. Ew, 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 ew. Bacon is chopped, kind of. Okay, next is brown onion, finely chopped. I despise cutting onions because I'm super sensitive to them, so pre-cut onion. And then 4 garlic cloves. I just have this because it's easier, so it's like garlic stuff. 1 tablespoon of finely chopped fresh rosemary. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that, so I have this rosemary. Butternut pumpkin, peeled and cut. I also hate cutting pumpkins, so pre-cut pumpkin. 1 large carrot cut into 2 pieces. I have multiple baby carrots. I'm gonna do like 3 of those. So I guess we should chat while I'm doing all of this. How is everyone? How is your reading going? If you're watching this outside of the readathon, just how are you going in general? Also, maybe how are your reading going? So I really tried to diversify like the books I was going to do my videos on. And now I've ended up doing 3 Sarah J Maas themed videos this week. So yeah, I'm Sarah J Maas trash. And apparently, unpopular opinion, I actually quite like the cover of A Court of Silver Flames. Like, the grey could have been different, like the grey background, because that's just kind of a bit bland, but you know, the mask is pretty cool. And like, it makes sense that it looks more like an adult novel because it is. Nesta is in her mid-20s. It is going to be an adult novel. I don't realize just how long like peeling and cutting takes until you have to do it in front of a camera and you're like, I need to hurry up so I don't use all my camera battery. So did everyone else see that the movie rights for both Throne of Glass and ACOTAR went back to Sarah J Maas? Like, thank God, because the rights were originally for ACOTAR with the people who made Shadowhunters, both the movie and the TV show. So I'm glad that they don't have it anymore. I really hope someone like who really cares about the series gets it next, or just is really good at their job. You know, maybe Sarah J Maas, give it to Pierre Ford. I would trust her with it. Okay, and then we need potatoes, both peeled and cut, so more of that. This is just me saying yes, I would play Feyre in a ACOTAR movie or TV show. Like, you know, if somehow the person who acquires the rights is watching this, yeah, I'll play her. So my reasoning being that Feyre is the Sarah J Maas main character that I could pull off the most. Like, I could never be Selena or Bryce. But you know, Feyre could totally be her. She's probably also the character out of the three I look the most like. And I mean, I especially look like her right now because look at this amazing tattoo that I drew, and I have pointy ears. And like, Feyre isn't particularly fit, and I'm not particularly fit. It could work. I don't know how to use a bow and arrow, but I would be willing to take archery lessons. Like, it's actually something I do want to do. But where do you go to take archery lessons? I mean, like in Melbourne right now, nowhere. Though earlier today on TikTok, I came across on my For You page this woman who was like amazing at archery. Like, she threw a Mentos and then shot the arrow and hit the Mentos. Like, that is goals. Okay, and you know, like, I would be so down to throw a shoe at someone. And like, with like an accent, fantasy worlds tend to have British accents just because they just do. And I have been mistaken for a Brit before, like from people who actually come from England. So, you know, I could just like use my normal voice, or I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard to like British it up a bit more. I'm not gonna try right now though, in case I like miserably fail after saying that. And like, I do know the books really well, and I would care about the character. So you could trust me with Feyre. Like, I would be faithful to who her character is. And I would like fight as much as I would be able to have like things book accurate. And those are literally all of the things I had written down to talk about while I did this. Okay, next is one celery stalk cut into pieces, and my grocery store did not have like one singular celery stalk, it was just a whole heap. So I've got this like snack carrot and celery thing, and I'm just going to use the celery out of it. And then I can eat the carrot later. People who actually like cooking, can you tell me how? Like, just not a big fan of cooking. It takes so long, and then it takes like no time at all to eat. So what's life like in other parts of the world? Like, I've been in lockdown pretty much since like March, and like I got to see like my friends maybe like once in between the two hard lockdowns. Like, going back and like hanging out with people and actually giving them a hug is going to be so weird. Okay, and then we need some red lentils, which I have some here. And then 1.5 liters of chicken stock. The grocery store only sold 1 liter. This is more than enough. And then 3 sprigs of fresh thyme. I have this, and it was on sale. And then a can of brown lentils. Which need to be drained and rinsed. Okay, and then a can of borlotti beans. I had no idea what borlotti beans was. And I just stood in the aisle for like 5 minutes trying to find them, and I did find them. Oh wow, that is not pretty. And then chopped kale and spinach mix, which my supermarket didn't have, so I have some kale, and then I have some spinach, and we're just gonna mix them together in there. Okay, and then lemon juice and shaved parmesan to serve. Okay, now we can get onto the actual cooking part. It's been like half an hour already. Heat oil in a large saucepan over medium heat. I don't have a large saucepan, so we're gonna use this and just see what happens. Over medium heat. I need one of these. A lot of my cooking method just comes down to like guessing. So we'll see how this goes. It will be edible in the end. If I stuff it up, like, I'm the only one who has to live with the consequences. Okay, while we're waiting for that to heat up a bit, who's your favorite ACOTAR character? Like, no one ever chooses Feyre, but Feyre is my favorite. Like, I just really like her, and I obviously want to play her in an adaptation. Like, one of my goals for this year were to go back to acting lessons. And yeah, 2020 just laughed in the face of that one. Like, I did take acting lessons for a while back home, but they were just way too expensive, so I had to stop. And then I did act in like my local teen theatre group for a while, but we all stopped doing that once they raised their prices. So yeah, I actually do want to go back to acting lessons, because like, I think I was okay at it. Like, when I was doing the acting lessons, we had to like perform this short monologue for the people who like own the school. And when we were doing our practicing ones, everyone was up there and our teacher was critiquing like things that each one of us could do better, and I went up and did mine and she was like, oh yeah, that was actually really good. Like the one thing you could change is that when people are trying to say something that they don't want to say, they just say it really quickly. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. So I was like, did I do good? But now it's been so long since I've done like any acting that I'm like, oh my gosh, can I do it? So if you know of any good acting schools in Melbourne, please let me know. Okay, add bacon. Oh, I probably let that go on a little too long. And onion. And garlic. We like garlic in this house. Cook stirring for 5 minutes. Oh, and rosemary. I have to put the rosemary in. I'm the worst when it comes to herbs. I'm just like, yeah, that looks like enough. Like, is it supposed to taste like what I ended up being? Like my stove, I never know how well it's working. Like, it's quite old. It's better than the one at my last place though. So with this stove, there is one like thing that I can't use because it's like pushed down and wedged into like the stove, so no flames can come out. I'm like, how the hell did someone do that? I hate cooking meat because I'm always terrified I'm gonna get it wrong and get food poisoning. And like, I just look at it, I'm like, is it doing anything? So I think it's doing things. The waiting is the thing I hate the most. Like, just cook already. Like, I order in food way too often because, like, yes, I have to wait for it, but I can do other things while I'm waiting for it. Now we are adding pumpkin, carrot, potato, and celery. Okay, these can go in first. That's not gonna fit in there. How much pumpkin did you say? 250. This 500 and you feel like half of this. Can you see that from here? Like, it's not gonna fit in there. And red lentils. Add stock and thyme. I'm gonna start with the thyme. Discard thyme. Well, the thyme is not coming out of that. Okay. Time to see how much this overflows. Oh, we might make it. Okay, so like, it's almost all the way to the top. Let's get a close-up of this. So this is what's happening with my soup right now. It's as soon as that starts boiling, I'm gonna have to like clean my stove. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so this has to boil and then I reduce the heat and simmer uncovered, like I have something to cover that with anyway, for 25 minutes. So guess I'm gonna see you in like half an hour. Okay, it has been half an hour. We are back. Okay, so I need to add the brown lentils and the beans. I'm gonna try and put them in this same pot, but there's not a lot of room. Okay, it's happening. Okay, and then that cooks for 5 minutes. I'm gonna maybe put it up a little bit. Okay, since my camera battery is dying, I have to wait 5 minutes to put that in, and then I somehow have to put this in there as well. I might just wilt these separately somehow, and then I can serve. Okay, so the cooking part is done, and I've like wilted the greens in this pot. You know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, this is as good as my stirring is gonna get. in this. So let's get a close up and you can see just how much it's about to overflow. Ta-da! This is as much as I can, stir it. But it actually resembles some sort of soup or stew. More of a stew than a soup, I feel. Okay, now it says to sprinkle soup with parmesan and serve with toasted bread. I don't have any fancy bread, so I just have, bread. More waiting, just cooking is so much waiting. See, it's been like an hour and I haven't gotten to eat yet, which is why I don't like cooking, which I totally get when Feyre was like, yeah, I don't cook, I heat up. Sprinkle with some parmesan. Ta-da! I made Feyre's soup. This is the soup. And now I can just be like, okay, now to give this soup to my mate. Right, yeah, I'm alone.